Okay, Year 12, welcome to syllabus dot point 4, the importance of the land rights movement for Aboriginal people. Here's your dot point. The most important thing to note is the Border Studies keyword that's associated with this, analyse. You are drawing together relationships between the dreaming for Aboriginal people and land rights movement, and why the land rights movement is so important. So important. What's the relationship between the land rights movement and their spirituality or the dreaming? So keep that in mind and keep that as your framework. Drawing together links between this is what the dreaming is and this is why the land rights movement is important. So firstly, the dreaming is inextricably linked to the land. The land rights movement is about getting the land back. It is literally that easy. So the first point you make in a 5-mark question is the dreaming is inexplicably linked to the land. Land rights movement is about getting the land back. Once they get the land back, they can establish spiritual connections again. Another key idea that's very closely linked to this is the idea of the land being the medium through which the dreaming is lived and communicated. Okay? So, sorry, I didn't mean to cross that out, I meant to underline it. The land is a medium. So yes, you are giving them back what they are entitled to, and it's inextricably linked to the dreaming, but it is literally how they connect to their dreaming experience. So it's really important that you mention that. And in relation to it being a medium, the ancestral beings continue to inhabit the land. Totems bind people with particular aspects of the land, and there are sacred duties and sacred rituals that occur on sacred sites on the land that are required to happen. Otherwise, your spirituality isn't an ongoing reality. It's this fragmented thing. So the point of the land rights movement was to allow Aboriginal people to be able to reconnect with these sacred sites, and therefore in doing so, continue on and allow them to reconnect with their ancestral beings and therefore reconnect with their dreaming experience. Without access to the land, Aboriginal people do not have access to these sacred sites. These sacred sites is where their dreaming experiences are lived out. And it is because of these sacred sites aren't just a particular plot on the land. They have special significance back to a dreaming story, something to do with their dreaming experience. I can't give you specifics because it changes per different language group or tribe. But that particular sacred site is part of the dreaming. It is part of their dreaming story, both in the past, in the present, and will be in the future. So it is access to these that is of incredible importance if their dreaming and their spirituality is to be a lived out reality. Intertwined into a response on the importance of the land rights movement for Aboriginal spirituality, you can talk about things in other dot points. That's why I've included this slide here on the lamppost. So you can talk about the fact that the Marbos in the late 80s and the Marbo decision actually was significant in the land rights movement for Aboriginal people in terms of being able to re-establish them with the land. Its importance for the dreaming is that it recognised Aboriginal people as originally owning the land and saying they have the title to the land. That recognition was further codified with the native title legislation of 1993 and further reinforced that yes, no, Aboriginal people do need access to the land. It doesn't matter if it has leasehold title. Those two things can coexist because Aboriginal dreaming experiences are so closely linked to the land. If there is leasehold title, it is okay. Those two things can coexist, and that is the importance of WIC, guys. So when you are answering a question on the importance of land rights movements to Aboriginal spirituality, it is very important that you look at the Border Studies keyword. The syllabus dot point dictates an analyse, which means draw together relationships. So you have to say things such as, this is what the land rights movement is attempting to achieve. This is why it's significant for the dreaming. You need to draw together that relationship really clear. Don't just make statements like, it was good, it helped Aboriginals, but say, this is what the land rights movement was trying to achieve. This is why it's significant for Aboriginal spirituality and the dreaming. And that's it, guys. That's syllabus dot point 4.